I don't know what
Wow.
the fuck that shit.
He said a double cheeseburger. He don't even average a
Oh,
double in 27 minutes.
A
Like, how
double
you gonna do it in
cheeseburger.
10?
no, why did he spell rejuvenation like that? That shit was crazy. Nigga spaced on the word.
And
He's
we're
supposed to wear it.
live. Welcome everybody here to the Lakers.
You say you saw
Look
people on the TI rooting
Lounge
for
podcast.
Braun to
I'm
get his
Anthony
money
Irwin,
no
senior
matter
Lakers
what.
insider for Clutch Points, and today
I mean,
on the
some
show,
niggas are saying
we
he
will
shouldn't
be
be obligated to
talking
take one anyway,
about
but I don't.
big dudes,
I don't. I don't think
centers.
any
The Lakers
fan
need
wants us to not have them in the league.
probably
I
a
just think
couple of
they
them,
have an issue with
at
some
least
niggas
2,
saying
maybe 3, depending on how they
that we
feel about
can't build a
Christian
roster if
Covington.
he does take one.
So
I'll
we'll
push
talk
back on that
about their
point too.
pursuit
Like
of those
that just sounds like
centers.
bail for Rob.
I
Oh
wrote
no,
about
Braun
Clutch
took his
Points
money. He
live
handicapped
with
you.
Turk
I just disagree.
tomorrow morning to
Trying to
review
paint it
Kirk
to make
Henderson
LeBron
against the
look bad and
Portland
then give
But like, bro,
20
like we
minutes.
should be calling
and
Bruce, man. Like, bro,
that's
Bruce is
where a
gonna
lot
sign
of
with
the
us.
off seasons kind
The
of
offseason he
trades and
signed
free
with the
agency
Pacers,
chatter
bro.
kind of begins.
I truly thought we was gonna get
It's
Bruce
kind
that
of
summer.
the
Oh yeah,
unofficial
2023.
gun firing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or start your engines, I guess. And at that draft combine, one of the
Oh,
most
here we go.
active people,
We were gonna
and
get
he
Bruce.
has
He took a
remained
2-year
that kind of
45
active
though. We
since,
couldn't
Can y'all
offer
hear
him.
this?
was Rob
Yeah.
Pelinka,
Yeah.
who
That's why
knows
we
that
didn't
he's
get
a
him,
center.
James.
Facts.
He said at his exit interview that he knows that the Lakers need a big guy. Because I'm always just kind of inherently skeptical about a lot of this stuff. That raised a bit of a red flag for me because it was like a big guy, one. I sound like my son. He loves cars and he always asks for the number of the movie. So yeah, one. But what I'm told is that was a poor turn of phrase, and that the Lakers understand that they need multiple bigs
Okay.
with versatile skill sets that don't overlap too much. There's always going to be some overlap. And, from there, the Lakers will try to piece together as best they can in one offseason
And that sounds like Lopez and
a center
Gafford. Huh?
rotation that makes a
Now
lot
I'm about
more
to say
sense than the
that sounds
one
like
that
Brook
finished the
Lopez,
season
James.
with
Exactly.
last
Spacing big
year.
and a
I'll
lot there
also
big.
That
talk
sounds
a
like
little
they're
bit about
trading for a big,
that
their
center
starter,
rotation
and then
and how
Lopez is coming off
most
the
of
bench.
Exactly.
those
Do y'all
I
think
pieces
actually,
Lopez?
are
Do y'all think
probably
Brook
not going to
Lopez
be
take a
back.
vet
So we'll
man?
discuss
Oh,
that
Yes.
as well.
yes.
But
For
I
the
don't know who
Lakers?
trade
I don't know
deadline.
who
Yeah.
pays him though. I
At,
don't.
sorry, at
Are
the
niggas paying Brook
NBA
$5
draft
million?
combine.
He's
I could
$37.
see. I can maybe
That
see.
37
nigga's
years old.
back
Who's
is
paying him?
fucking cooked, bro. You
But
know
he's
how
old
many
as
back
shit, bro.
surgeries he's
Just
had and
kind of
shit?
fielded
I'd
The
talks.
love
only
him as
guy
a
I
back.
think,
That nigga's not
Bam.
getting paid, bro. He's a
I don't
I
know.
love
legend
him as a
right now.
backup though. But
He's
I think
38 or some shit, dude. He's
I
a
think the only guy
legend.
that
bro.
pays him is hold on, let me pause
Basically,
this because I want to
you
hear
said
what
who
he said.
pays him?
I think the only team that would actually give him a starting role would be the Warriors.
Warriors.
Oh yeah, and they
They
actually do have a little bit of money.
basically do
Well,
what
well, I mean they don't, but they have enough. Like they can give him the taxpayer, I think.
basically do
So I'm
what
saying it's
Quentin
better than
Post
a
was
league
trying to do.
minimum is
Quentin
what I'm
Yeah,
Post.
so
saying.
basically put him in the
You
Quentin
give
Post
him
Yeah,
a
role.
but
He's
he's
starting
better.
role
He's still
and
better
something
than
better than
that.
a league
Come on,
minimum. Yeah,
still.
ooh, I don't know.
You said
But
he's
I
still
will say
better.
this, y'all. I will say this: the nigga is a California guy.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
he. It sounds funny, but he loves going to Disneyland. Like I think he would
he's a good
enjoy
mix.
retiring in LA as a Laker. Went to Stanford for college.
Yeah. All it
Like
lines up. Yeah.
it makes sense at 37 for him to kind of take the Al Horford role, except on the Lakers, like
I'd fucking wear
contending
that.
towards the end of your career. But let's see what else he
Yeah, I'd
says.
be cool with that for
Explain
sure.
this on
I'd be cool with him as a
the
backup.
show
Yeah. And
before.
he's a
But what essentially happens is executives will have
And he give you them fake
or
ass games.
decision
Like
makers
facts.
will
the
have
nigga
It
gonna
was
give you
20.
20
their
and fucking
Rolodex
10.
there
Like
in
he gonna
front
do
of
that.
them, and they will
He's basically Al
maintain
Horford,
pretty
bro.
constant conversation, especially with teams that have players that they might be interested in. And they'll just kind of check in and say, hey, been a little bit. What would it take for this and that? How you feeling about this? What else are you looking for? What are you hearing that other teams are looking for? Maybe we can help facilitate that, all of that good stuff. It's a it's a process that takes place all the time. And one of the people that Rob calls up about as frequently as any other executive in the league is Joe Cronin for the Portland Trailblazers. Now,
Huh.
dealing with them is a little iffy right
Yeah.
now because you have
Interesting.
pending
Good
sale,
luck,
and
nigga.
that sale
That nigga Joe
process
Cronin is
is
a
now
terrorist.
officially kicked off.
Is that
So
Robert Williams?
Joe
Is that Robert
Cronin,
Williams music?
you know,
Yeah,
it
to what
might be,
extent
bro.
he's allowed to make big macro decisions.
Or Rome. It could be
In
the
light
other
of
nigga
that,
you've been
that
talking about.
obviously is
Oh, Donovan
worth
Clean or
discussing
Aiden?
with a
No,
debate.
Aiden,
But
bro.
still,
Aiden?
I hope it's not
you
Aiden. I
know,
hope
those
not.
Portland
Oh,
Trail
Yeah, I mean,
Blazers
I
are
hope
on
not
the
either,
street.
bro.
But
That's
that goes against what they've been saying
Last
about the
time
high
with
salary
Trevor
big
Lane,
though. Oh.
we've
Yeah,
talked about
But maybe,
Robert
they just
Williams in the
believe in his
past.
upside. With
only
Luka.
way I
don't
take
know,
on
bro.
Aiden
has that
is if
really
you're giving me
iffy,
Kamara, man.
Yeah, that nigga's a
Oh,
quitter,
injury
bro. I'm
history.
good, man.
You gotta give
Same,
me
same.
Kamara. You gotta give me too
We're
money Kamara
in
if I'm taking on
pretty
Aiden, bro.
constant conversations.
If I see a big quit on a team that's trying to win, I'm good off you forever, bro. I'm sorry.
Same thing with that. Same thing with that nigga Jared Allen, bro.
That nigga quit on the Suns. That nigga was quitting on Blazers last year. There were times he was getting benched for clinging and shit. Like, just quitting on the team because he don't get his touches, bro. I'm good, man.
Rui is
Everybody
just a
knows
better
about
player
Aiden's
than
talent.
Grant, but still, to the extent that the Lakers have with the Portland Trail Blazers, it does at least kind of lay the foundation for maybe someday a trade to take place between those two sides.
That's gotta be
Now,
Robert
needs to be
Williams. It
noted,
has to be.
Yeah, it has to be
Rob, the way that he negotiates, I've reported on this before, he
Rob,
kind of
bro.
sort of sets his price, and either you're at that price or you're not, and he'll check back in
What would
whenever
y'all
the
give up for Rob
price
Will though? Like,
reaches a
what would
point
y'all
that he
give up?
is more comfortable
I'll give him
with.
like a
Dorian
second,
Finney-Smith
or
was somebody
two.
that the
I'll give
Lakers
up
liked
Kleber.
for multiple years.
Kleber and like a swap.
Yeah,
And
just to take a swap.
waited and waited and waited
First
and
round
waited, and
swap.
then eventually
I
Yeah.
do seconds, bro. No
I'll
problem.
give you
I
my
feel like you gotta
second.
overpay a little bit. Obviously, I wouldn't give him a
And they
first.
went out and got him. And I
I
think that's
can't give you my
essentially
swap.
what we're
I
looking
can't.
at.
Overpay for a
With
nigga
the
who
bigs on the market
can't
is
stand
I just don't know
right
about his
now
health for me to
with
overpay.
the
Well,
Portland
swap.
Trail
We know
Blazers.
swap is nothing
It
for him.
does
But
at
it's just like
least
Swaps
kind
can
of
never matter.
lay
You know,
the
sometimes they
Yeah.
don't even
foundation
matter.
Don't matter.
for maybe someday a trade to take place between those two sides.
I think
Now,
people are
needs to be
overvaluing
noted,
what a swap is.
Yeah.
Rob,
I
the way
agree.
that he
If your
negotiates,
team's
I've
good,
reported
swaps
on
don't
this
matter because you'll
before,
never get a swap.
he kind of
Facts.
sort of sets his price, and either you're at
He
that
just got to give me
price
some
or you're
assurance
not,
that he's
and
healthy,
he'll check
man.
back
It's like,
in
I don't
whenever the
know.
price
I
reaches
think
a
if I'm
point that
trading
he
for him
is
though,
more
I think if
comfortable
I'm
with.
trading for him, he's a
Dorian
backup,
Finney-Smith
right?
was
I don't
For
think
somebody
he's
the
sure.
starting.
Lakers
I'm
liked
not giving him a
for
starter role
multiple
to
years.
overexert
Yeah.
him. No.
And waited and waited and waited and waited, and then
I
eventually
might sign a third big. Had that nigga on
those
I'm
eggshells
about
to
to
the
say I might have
playoffs.
three. Yeah, I'm about to
first
say I might
rounder,
have three
the
bigs,
Lakers
bro.
Like, remember
quickly
Warriors
acted,
did
and they
Otto
went out
Porter?
and got him.
They had
And I
that
think
nigga on
that's
eggshells
essentially what
It
all
we're
might
looking
year.
at here
it
with
might
the
be
bigs on the
Gafford, Rob
market
Will, and
is
Brook Lopez,
right
bro.
Yeah,
now,
I'll do that.
with all of the conversations that
Would
the
y'all
Lakers
rather
are
have Larry
having with
Nance or
any
Brooke
executive
Lopez?
out there,
Uh,
that conversation
I'd say
starts
Brooke.
at the
I
package
think
that the
Brook.
Lakers
Brook's
were
a real
ready
center.
to
If you get
offer up
Gafford,
He's
he's a
like
real
seven.
center.
He's like
for
what,
Mark
7'1" or
Williams
some
Yeah.
shit?
of the
I
Charlotte
agree.
Hornets. Now,
I
Okay,
don't know.
obviously,
okay,
I
okay.
think
I'll
it's
do
Brooke
this.
Lopez.
I'll
Mark
do this.
Williams
I'll
failed
get
his physical and
Gafford,
all that
Brooke,
stuff.
and outside
But
Larry Nance.
essentially,
I'm supposed to
What?
trade for
waited and
Roberts. Like,
waited,
I'll
and
do
then
that because I
eventually
think Larry Nance could be a small ball big
Doe's
when you don't want to play
price
big
dropped
with
below a first rounder. The Lakers
Lopez,
quickly
and he
acted,
gives you
and
the
they went out and
spaces
got him.
when
And I
Gafford
think
is off
that's
the floor.
essentially
So
what
like,
we're looking at
he
here with
basically is
the
like a
bigs on the
contrast of
market.
both of them.
Is
Like,
reported on this before.
he can space like
He kind of sort of
Lopez.
sets his
He can
price,
be a lob threat like
and
Gafford.
either
He's a
you're
good
at
medium
that
between both
price
of them.
or
I
you're
love
not,
Larry
and
Nance
he'll
as a
check
third
back
big.
in whenever the price reaches a point that he
And
is
if I
more
want to
comfortable with.
downsize my lineups while I
Dorian
stay in
Finney-Smith was
big,
somebody
I
that
can
the
put Larry
Lakers
Nance at the
liked
5.
for multiple
He's literally doing
years,
that with the Hawks.
and
And Lopez, low key.
waited
I
and
know he's
waited
not
and
going to
waited and
do. I know
waited, and
he's
then
not.
eventually
He gonna top. But he's a nigga who
Doe's
could bang with a nigga
price
like
dropped
Jokic.
below a first rounder. The Lakers
You got the
quickly
size to do
acted,
that.
and they
But
went out and
We
got
just
obviously,
him.
don't
I
have
think
any
that's
bigs that
essentially
match.
what
Like
we're
we just don't
looking
have
at
a
here with the
true
bigs on
centers.
the
Like we don't
market
have that.
is right now,
We always got these
with all of the
slender athletic
conversations
niggas.
that the
Like, we
Lakers
don't
are
have
having with any
bigs.
executive out there.
All right,
That
bro. Steven Adams is
conversation
just a big
starts at
ass
the
nigga off
package
their
that the
bench. Bro.
Lakers
Like
were ready to
Lopez, just be
offer
a big
up
ass nigga on the
for
floor, bro.
elite.
Obviously, he don't
Williams.
rebound and shit, but it's like just be a big out
Oh,
there.
so he's saying the conversations are starting where the Lakers are still like, hey, who's ever willing to take it, we're still here with Dalton in a first round pick. That's what he just said. Like he's
Yeah.
saying like that package is still
Quickly
available.
acted, and they went out
Like
and
listen
got
what
him.
he says.
And I think that's essentially what we're looking at here with the bigs on the market is right right now, with all of the conversations that the Lakers are having with any executive out there, that conversation starts at the package that the Lakers were ready to offer up for Mark Williams of the Charlotte Hornets. Now, obviously, that trade was rescinded. Mark Williams failed his physical and all that stuff. But essentially, in all of these conversations, and Dan Wojcicki was on the show a little while ago, I think it was last week, talking about this as well. But basically, every executive that the Lakers are talking to starts the conversation with a first rounder, Dalton Connect, and expiring money that you need to match up whatever salaries. And
I'm okay with giving that up, but it just depends on the big.
some bigs, maybe you
I don't
entertain
want to
that,
give
for
him
Nick
Yeah, like I'm
Claxton,
not giving
you
Dalton a
entertain
first
that.
for Rob Williams.
Or Gaffford. I'm not doing that shit for
you probably
Gaffford.
entertain that.
Okay, wait. He said, what did he say
Outside of
about
that,
Nick Claxton?
Dalton Connect and expiring money that you need to match up whatever salaries. And for some bigs, maybe you entertain that, right? For a Nick Claxton, you entertain that. For a Daniel Gaffford, you probably entertain that.
Yeah.
Outside of that, though, there aren't too many bigs that are realistically available that you'd be comfortable offering that up. But that's not stopping the Joe Cronins of the world from demanding that package for Robert Williams.
Oh yeah,
that's
he's tripping. Oh
you
yeah, that
tripping.
nigga's tripping.
I'm not
He's
giving you that
tripping.
deal.
Paper
Oh,
Hell
machine.
no. Hell no.
So
Hell no.
Bro, he's
You know the funny thing
issue
is
that the Lakers are
that
essentially
bitch ass
running
nigga
into
Joe
right now
Cronin
is
would do some shit like
everybody-
that.
That nigga, that Joe Cronin nigga is a fucking
He
dumbass.
he's
But
such
like,
a
bro,
terrorist,
how
bro.
can you demand that
So
high of a package for? First of all, you barely play him because he's your third big. You don't even
Literally.
play him.
Klingen is literally their future, bro.
And
Klingen is
he
their future.
plays. You don't even play him that much. One, two. We don't even know he's healthy enough for us to give you that kind of package anyway. It's
We're
like
gonna
that's
give you Dalton
insane.
on a first for a nigga that might not play 45 games, man.
Like, come on, be the fucking serious, dude.
Like that should be a straight swap. Like I'm talking
Literally.
Kleber and Shake Milton for Rob Williams, and that's it. No
Bro,
picks, nothing.
He's not even a necessity on your team, bro. You play Klingen and Ayton.
You have
dude.
Klingen and Ayton on the team, man. You don't need that nigga. You literally don't need him. He doesn't have value around the league because he can't stay healthy.
Exactly.
And you're still asking for a first round pick and Dalton Connect. Like that's
Nobody's
just
giving you
insane.
that deal, dude. That's just
Bro,
you
last year they wanted fucking 2 firsts, Vando and Rory for fucking Jeremy Grant. That nigga's just a dumb fucking GM.
And he got re-signed too. That's crazy.
That shit is insane.
I'm not. He only did one. There's only one good movie he's ever done. It's that Denny Obvious shit. That was literally it.
And even the Denny Obvious shit, like it worked out, but bro, you gave up 2 first round picks for that nigga.
Yeah, it was a risk, but I mean,
it was a risk. I mean, it paid off.
Yeah, it paid off. It's like,
that's the only thing you can give him credit for. But other than that,
because if Denny didn't pan out, you gave 2 firsts for that nigga.
Yeah, he probably lucked into that shit. The shit Denny doing now, I don't know if I thought that.
Yeah, no, me either.
I'm gonna just say this: I've always liked Denny.
I always
never
liked
traded 2 firsts for him. Never.
Yeah, exactly.
I always thought he was
nigga, I wasn't even trying to trade 2 firsts for fucking DeJounte Murray. I'm not trading fucking 2 firsts for fucking.
He was always a good defender. He's always had tools to be good, but like the shit he's doing, bro. Niggas having triple doubles this year, like 28.
Yeah, he's literally like that nigga took a crazy leap this year, bro.
So like
he's like right now he's their best player, which is crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Nigga was averaging 30 for like a month.
Robert Williams, despite the fact that he is made of paper mache. So the issue that the Lakers are essentially running into right now is everybody knows that they are desperate for a big. And on top of it, everybody knows that the Lakers are especially desperate for a big while they can try to convince Luka Doncic to extend longer term.
Isn't that what we were telling Raj today? We were literally saying, bro, everybody knows the package. So everyone's going to ask for that package, even though all these niggas that they're trying to get are not worth that package.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. Niggas know we're desperate for a big, especially after these playoffs. They know.
Like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm not just going to trade Dalton for a center. Like the center has to be good, bro. It got to be Claxton. It got to be a Claxton level guy where I can live with that. I can't live with trading that nigga for a fucking.
I was going to ask, are you trading him for Gaffford? Because he did mention Gaffford.
Bro, I don't even think I'm trading that nigga for Wendell Carter, bro. Like, and I like Wendell. I don't think I'm trading Dalton Connect for Wendell Carter Jr.
That's tough.
That's tough, bro. Like, I like Wendell, but Dalton Connect not just some shitty player, man.
That's what I was telling. I think, bro, Dalton can be something. It's just, oh my god, bro, because he had that. I don't trade niggas that can shoot that well.
Dalton can be an elite player, bro. Yeah. Like listen, man. Like I'm trading a nigga for Mark Williams.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying.
I'm willing
like,
to trade
for Mark. I'm trading for Clax.
Toss that nigga in a trade just cause.
I think I traded for Gaffford.
No, I'm not. I don't think. Wait, and a first?
Because
No,
we are
I can't
desperate
do
for a
it
big.
first.
We are desperate for a big.
But James,
Contract.
Yeah.
We are desperate.
there's
We
only
need
two.
one.
I think I am trading for Gafford. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We need a big, bro.
See,
Like,
wait. So y'all trading Dalton in a first for
because
Gafford?
I don't think JJ's gonna play
Yeah,
Dalton. I
bro.
don't think JJ's gonna play
Coney, we
Dalton.
need
No
a
more.
big. Coney, we need a
Bro,
big.
I understand
The
that,
one thing
but
about
bro.
Gafford, no one talks about. One of the things about Daniel Gafford that never ever, I never hear people mention this, bro. He's like 26 years old. He's not old. Like he's a
Nigga's not
young.
old at all, bro.
He's
No,
a
he's not,
young
but
center. Like you're gonna
bro,
have
he
him
is.
for. He's gonna be on your team forever.
Coney,
Like
the reason I would pull that trigger is because I don't think JJ's gonna play him over the guys we have here anyway.
No, but James, you know
Exactly.
he's low key injury prone too. That nigga Gafford.
Who Gaffer?
Yeah,
Gafford?
he began hurt.
I mean,
But okay,
this
like,
year and last year.
but
For
like
Mavs.
the counter is keeping Dalton, who we know JJ doesn't trust to play anyway. Obviously, that was his first year, but
Like
like,
Mark
You
Williams.
overpay for
do
that.
we think
Coney, I'm not
JJ's
gonna
playing him
lie.
over DFS or Rui? I don't
so
think
Gafford
so.
played. So you said he's injury prone. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
low
start.
key, not like
I'm gonna
fully, but he's low
start.
key.
I'm gonna start from his first year in the league.
Bro, what
He
the
played
fuck?
43 games, but I think I don't even know if that was injury. I think he just didn't really play. And
He's on the Bulls
then
and
the
shit.
next year, on the Chicago Bulls, he played 54 games, but he was between the Bulls. He played 31 on the Bulls, 23 on the Wizards. He got traded. So 2021, 2022, he played 72 games. In 2022, he played 78 games. In 2023, he played 74 games. And then this past season, he played 57. So I don't think he's that injury prone.
Yeah, I said low key. I said like he's not fully, but he do begin hurt.
Like
It's kind of
70
like with Rui. Like Rui just
70,
begin hurt randomly.
but 72, 78, 74, that's a lot of games.
Yeah.
Like the last 3 years, that's a lot of games. This year he got hurt, but he still played 57 games.
And the injury he had this year wasn't through injury prone. A nigga literally bumped into his knee. So
Yeah.
I can't label those type of injuries as being.
And he came back and he was fine, and that's more important to me. Like he came back from that knee injury.
He's never had a catastrophe
Because his athleticism matters, right? So like you don't want no knee injuries with him. But he came back and his athleticism was fine. Also, I'm looking at all those games. So in 2021, when he played 72 games, 69% from the field. The next year, 73% from the field. The next year, 73% from the field. This year, 70% from the field. So he's like he plays a lot and he's efficient as shit as a big. And he's 26. I'm definitely trading Dalton from. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't call somebody injury prone. Not saying that you're doing it, like if a nigga just ran into my knee, bro.
But Rome, Dalton and a first though, and a first round pick.
I think I am, bro.
I'm gonna pull that, bro. I'm pulling
because at that point, bro, at that point, it's legitimately like an investment, right? Like,
yeah, actually, yeah.
He like, you know me, I don't do the Dalton age thing, but like, he's 3 years older than Dalton Connect. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think we just need
like
I think we low-key need two bigs, bro.
Dalton's 23 and Gafford's 26, so
that's where Lopez comes in, bro. Yeah. That's where you try to sign Lopez.
Yeah, now I'm doing it.
You need two bigs, bro.
We can continue, but yeah, I'm doing that
to remain in LA. And whatever the thinking out there around the league is, whatever big the Lakers are able to go out and get, well, that's going to help you convince Luka. Well, you better pay up if you're really interested in convincing Luka to stick around. So those are all things that are all going on at the same time, and those are all conversations
Luka
that
fuck
the
with him
Lakers
heavy,
are having
bro.
right now.
I think if you do get Gafford, I think you need a Wiggins type. You need a good PLA.
But as of right now, at least to start the show, this first segment, I think the point of this first segment and the thing that you guys, I hope, take away from this above everything else, that the Lakers know that they need multiple centers.
Multiple centers. I like that.
They know that they need a lob threat.
Luka. I like that.
Said Gaffer, not a starting center. He just started
as well.
Oh, bro, that's Brook Lopez. Hold on. Listen what he said.
I think the point of this first segment and the thing that you guys, I hope, take away
he
from
said
this.
They want a floor spacing big.
It was. It was literally just him.
Multiple centers.
Unless Bobby Portis.
They know that they need a lob threat for Luka. They would like to have a floor spacing big as well for JJ's 5-out system in those moments they can run that kind of strategy. And from there, we'll see how those conversations play out. Now, as far as some specific names, we already know about Nick Claxton. He's on the Lakers' radar. The Lakers have been in conversation with Brooklyn
Hold
about Nick
on.
Claxton dating back to last deadline.
Okay.
Those talks have
Ah,
picked up as the
Oh,
Lakers have
wait, since
been
last
allowed to.
deadline. Is that what he said?
yeah,
Wait.
he
Those talks
is.
have picked up.
Wait, this nigga Ross been hip? Wait, hold
About-
on.
Yo, hold on. I fucking called that shit last year, bro. Remember I told y'all niggas, I said, bro, the fucking package that they gave Mark Williams, they offered that shit to Walker Kessler, Jalen Duren, Nick Claxton, and Mark Williams was the one the Hornets said, okay, yeah, let's do it. I'm telling I
Damn,
told y'all this.
Nets said no.
I told y'all, bro.
Oh wait, so
Nick
I
Claxton
wonder if so that means he must have had been offering Rui.
Nick,
he's trying to-
no, yeah,
unless he's
because
Unless you're
Who
trying to give
else?
him Vando and Dalton, I don't know. They probably said no to that shit.
but no, that wouldn't have worked though, salary wise.
Isn't that like Vando like 13, right?
It would have had to be Rui and Gabe. Rui, Gabe, and Dalton. Damn, that would be crazy.
But that's like 30 something, ain't it? That's
Yeah,
like 30 million.
But he was making like 27.
Oh yeah, he was.
So they probably would have gave us Claxton like Keon Johnson.
Yeah, listen.
I would have done that.
So he was
I
offering
would've
Rui.
did
He
that.
was all he had to be offering Rui. He had to be.
Bro, but remember, okay, chat.
That's the only way to get to
You
that
guys
money.
remember when I was telling y'all? I don't know if y'all remember, but you guys were saying like, "Oh my God, fucking Eric Pink is saying Rui's untouchable." Blah blah blah. Remember, I kept telling y'all I don't know about that. I kept saying I don't know about that. I don't think that's true. Like I was telling y'all niggas, I was saying, bro, I don't think it's true. And the reason why is because when the Lakers were trying to get AD another big before the Luka shit happened, Rui was the one that was getting put in trade talks for niggas like Miles Turner, for niggas like Nikola Vucevic. Like, bro, Rui was the one that was because, bro, they had DFS. So if they traded Rui, they already knew they could replace him with Dorian. So like Rui was the guy, and that's why I kept telling niggas. I was like, bro, I'm pretty sure they're willing to trade Rui, and niggas were arguing with me about that. I'm like, bro, stop listening to these reports. Like, I'm trying to like, bro, it doesn't make sense for them to keep Rui if they're trying to get a big who's going to play in Rui's spot anyways. Because he's going to take his spots if 80's at the 4. Because Braun's going to slide up to the 3, 80's going to be the 4, and whatever their 5 is going to be a starter. So clearly, Rui's going to be coming off the bench. So you might as well just trade him.
Exactly.
Because you already have Dorian Finney-Smith who's going to come off the bench anyways. And Vando, at that time, came back and he was healthy and he looked really good. So niggas like, oh, we got Dorian and Vando. We're good. We're good on the wing. Let's just go get another big.
Oh.
And then the Luka trade happened, and obviously that fucked everything up. But even then, they were probably still willing to trade Rui because they knew they needed a big for Luka.
Wait, Anthony Irwin said Matherin is exactly the kind of players Lakers need next to Luka and Austin.
That nigga tripping.
Nah, and you know what's crazy though? I'll say this one thing.
But the Lakers don't have no POA, so
I'll say this one thing, and I don't want to air out Raj or anything, but Raj also brought that up to me.
What?
He was like, what do you guys think about Matherin? No,
Bro, you have to pay Matherin. Why would you trade for that nigga?
He's like, what do you guys think about Matherin? I think the idea is you're putting a young athlete like that can be kind of on the wing or in the backcourt.
Okay, he has upside, but bro, you have to pay that nigga.
I don't know if I like that play style, bro.
I don't think I like it. But I think I get the idea though. Right? You're just getting younger. You're getting more.
I think he would help us in the regular season. I don't know about the playoffs. Though.
I don't like how that nigga Brunson's been kind of frying.
Bro, like he can make threes, but his game is getting it off the ball, and I mean like getting off ball. Like he wants the ball, bro. So,
my question is he willing at this young age before he got a real contract? Is he willing to be a 6-man on a contender? And I don't think he is.
No,
maybe 6-man because he's kind of the 6-man on the Pacers.
But like not by choice. He was starting over Neesmith. He was starting. Bro. He lost his spot to Neesmith, bro.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he was starting over Neesmith.
You're also trading for a nigga that's in a contract year that's trying to get paid. I don't know.
And I don't think people remember. Like, bro, Matherin was hooping when he came into the league. That nigga was fucking nice. And then he had that shoulder injury. And Neesmith stepped in and became
took his role, bro. Facts.
Yep. And so I think there is a level of like upside there for him, but I just don't know if he's a fit for us. I don't see it.
I'm good off.
But that. I just think it's interesting that and Raj both have that idea.
I get their idea, but they need more of a 3-and-D mold as opposed to a scoring.
Yeah, like, I agree.
More 3-and-D.
Those talks
I'm with you. I agree.
That's why we wanted Neesmith for him, rather.
Been allowed to.
Yeah, Neesmith is way more portable than all that.
And
wait, time. So
the Lakers'
this
radar.
is
the Lakers have been in conversation with Brooklyn about Nick Claxton dating back to the last deadline. Those talks have picked up as
Picked up.
the Lakers have been allowed to.
Damn. Okay.
Oh shit.
We know about Daniel Gafford, and we know about the recent trade history between the Dallas Mavericks and the Lakers that might complicate their pursuit of Daniel Gafford. But from what I'm told, it's slightly overblown, if not outright overblown, that if the Mavericks feel that a trade is best for them, uh, they aren't gonna chop off their nose to spite their face. If Nico Harrison and Patrick Dumont and Michael Finley and the rest of that Dallas Maverick, Jason Kidd, who has a loud voice in that organization as well, if that organization, if that team, that franchise believes that whatever move it is that the Lakers and they come to an agreement on actually helps the Mavericks, yeah, maybe that price is slightly raised. But this idea that nope, no way Nico would be allowed to trade with Rob Pelinka again, that's pretty overblown. I don't believe that that is actually the case, and
Who the fuck ever
it
said that in
doesn't
the
mean
first
that the
place?
deal is definitely
A
going to
lot of
happen.
people
But
said
it
that.
does need to be
What?
said
Retarded.
that they're all adults here. Dallas wouldn't have. I think they regret the blowback to the trade, and they were pretty ill prepared to the for the blowback to the trade. But I think from a basketball standpoint, the people who have made that trade have never said anything anywhere close to how they regret it or how they regret trading Luca. They probably regret how they traded Luca and the process in trading Luca and their handling of the backlash to trading Luca. But in terms of, you know, if you were to give that organization truth serum and say, hey, would you trade Luca again? I think they probably would. So I that all needs to be said. But yeah, Nick Claxton, Daniel Gafford, those are the names that a lot of teams around the league kind of have circled to the Lakers in some shape or form. Not both of them, maybe not either of them, but that's kind of the popular kind of targets there. Others have reported on it. I've reported on it in the past. The other thing to keep in mind here, though, Rob talked about how this is going to be a very active summer transaction window, and teams are basically battening down the hatches, boarding up the windows, getting ready for uh, what could be an absolutely chaotic summer. And you think of that from the top, right, where Giannis might be on the move, Kevin Durant might be on the move, Jaylen Brown could be on the move.
Whoa.
You could go down the list here, right?
Jaylen
Once
Brown.
Luka gets traded, it opens up
Yeah,
basically
that's why
anything
that guy said he wants Jalen
and
Brown.
almost anything, right? I
I
don't
said
think
that
Victor
earlier.
Wembanyama is getting traded. I don't think Anthony Edwards is getting traded. I don't think Shea is getting traded. Hallie obviously isn't going anywhere. But I think we're entering like the scope to which things are possible is much broader, I think, than are can possibly fathom right now. Is essentially what a lot of executives are prepping us for. Is yeah, we don't know, man, and this winds up helping the Lakers, in my opinion, and based on some of the conversations I've had, where yeah, every team is basically telling Rob right now, Dalton, a first expiring money is what it's going to take to get any kind of center. An Eastern Conference executive told me any center that can walk and chew gum is going to cost Dalton and a first and expiring money. But
Bro, what?
the thing to keep in mind here is, as I talked about earlier, Rob likes to wait for the price to drop. And that price tends to drop as players' values drop, as teams get more desperate or more interested in making a move for whatever reason. And in this case, all of that chaos needs oftentimes to be facilitated by other teams around the league. And in this case, if the Lakers could help facilitate that trade, maybe get an extra asset, maybe make themselves a little bit more flexible, a little bit more nimble to be able to trade for a center, that's the kind of thing that we probably need to take a little bit more into account, is that this is very much reporting on all of this. It's always trying to throw a dart into a moving target, but in this case it's trying to throw a dart in at a moving target that is spinning and twirling and is sometimes behind you. And I think, this notion of what we kind of anticipate in a normal off season, based on some of the conversations I've had, that needs to be kind of reimagined, and our expectations kind of need to be reconfigured. So, uh, yes, Gafford, Claxton, those kinds of names are the ones that we're all thinking about. But we probably are, and this always happens with the Lakers, by the way. But the center that the Lakers wind up landing is probably not on our radar right now, because we may not know
Who's
which
available?
players we should have on our radar outside of the super obvious.
Damn.
The other part of the piece that I talked about,
We
there,
finna end
by
up
the
with
way, I'll
Zubac,
be
y'all.
narrating this for the lowdown
I
tonight.
wish, bro.
So it's nice and neat for you guys.
Hey, I'd be
in the
cool with
morning.
that. Shit.
So I'm
And that's
trading Reese for
essentially going to be the
Zubac.
plan for the
Oh,
lowdown
Hell
man.
until
yeah,
at
yeah.
least
I'm doing
the
that shit.
season
Oh
officially
my
ends,
Get
god.
unless
peas
somebody
off
Every
my
breaks
team,
news.
nigga,
nigga
for
Trey
Zubac,
Reese for
nigga.
Whenever I
Zubac,
write
Trey
something, and that's going to be
Rui,
picking up a lot
Gaffer,
more
fucking Wiggins.
soon,
Rui gave
starting
Wiggins.
now,
You get
basically.
Zubac. Go
Whenever I
sign
write
the
something,
taxpayer
Not
fucking
Rui
Bruce
James. That's your
Brown. Go
favorite
get
player,
after
Melon.
bro.
that,
Oh my
it'll
god.
be your
Okay,
typical
Brooke
Niggas
Lopez
James
on a
love
fucking
Rui.
on a vet
to
minimum to
at
back up
times the front
Zubac.
three. But
Nigga,
anyway,
listen, man.
I'll be
Nigga.
narrating this for the
Lu-
lowdown. That's for the RSS
Luca
feed.
Wiggins,
Please hit that
Braun,
subscribe button wherever it is
Zubac.
that you get the pods, preferably on Odyssey.
Rui FC, nigga. You don't
Oh
But
fuck, nigga.
let's
Listen, bro, just go get K, bro.
I
Fuck
want
you.
to talk
Just go all
about
out.
Kate is
the
crazy.
notion of free agency and the way that the Lakers are kind of anticipating
Nah, keep that brick
utilizing
over
free
there.
You guys
agency.
want to hear this free agency stuff
Um,
or nah?
their biggest swing for a
My
center
fault.
has to
Wait,
be
did he give
via
predictions or like who
trade.
we're interested in? Or
They don't have cap space. You're probably looking at the taxpayer mid-level exception, which is about $5-ish million a year. You aren't going to get the kind of center that Luca would be excited to
He
play
basically saying
with
we got to
for
trade for the
$5
center.
million.
That's basically what he's
That's
saying.
just not going to happen unless somebody takes a
Eh,
stupid
the
pay
funny
cut,
part is
which,
niggas are begging for the
look,
Emily like Rob doesn't botch it every
I
time he
can't
gets it.
say isn't going to happen
That's the
because
funny
Oh,
part.
man.
money for
He
free
gave
agency has really
Trez,
dried up out
gave
there.
Vincent.
Like Gary Trent
Like,
Jr. was on the veteran
shit
minimum last
ass.
year. So free agency, though, for the Lakers, essentially the way that they're kind of looking at it, I'm told, is you're going to trade for the best available center, and then depending on what archetype that center is, you're going to fill in the gaps using the taxpayer mid-level and veteran minimum contracts. And so, if you trade for a Nick Claxton, who is a lighter framed, above the rim protector type, okay, you're probably going to be looking to add a bulkier Clint Capella, Steven Adams, Brooke Lopez type of big using the taxpayer mid level, if any of those guys would be available for it. I think all of them are priced slightly higher than that, but we'll see. And then whatever gap beyond that, you're going to take an additional swing using the veteran minimum, at least one veteran minimum that the Lakers have at their disposal. And then beyond that, you're also probably looking at using a two-way contract on, the Christian Colocos or the Trey Jemisons. There is some chatter out there to Coloco potentially getting a legit NBA deal this year. A lot of teams, one, really liked him in Toronto. He was able to stay healthy all year. He's still really young, and there are teams out there that do have him on their radar. So if the Lakers are looking to keep Coloco, it'll probably have to be on a veteran minimum type contract. And I am told, I wrote this in the piece, that the Lakers did like Coloco last season, so they would be maybe open to that. And then from there, it's just about complementing the skill sets across this roster. And for one thing, defensively, the Lakers desperately need probably multiple rim protecting bigs. They definitely need to improve their rebounding ability. We are seeing the difference that offensive rebounds make in these playoffs. And I think that's going to be a huge focus moving forward to help win that possession battle is to grab offensive rebounds, create offensive rebounds, or stop the other team from doing so. So look for the Lakers to get big with at least one, maybe two of their center acquisitions, and then kind of go from there. Outside of that, yeah, JJ Redick, I'm told, still wants to do some 5-out stuff next year. He is going to be, I believe, pretty flexible with whatever roster he is presented. And maybe that roster doesn't call for very much 5-out stuff. But I do believe JJ would like to play at least some small ball, at least some pace and space basketball. And if you're going to do that, you either are going to go small with LeBron at the 5, which the Lakers are going to be looking to do sometimes, or if Rui is still on the team, the Lakers went with him at the 5 a little bit too. I hope they ditch
Nigga
the
lost you with
Jared
that. I'm not
Vanderbilt at
gonna
the
lie.
5 project because that was pretty ugly.
Said Rui.
But yeah, I think if you can't play him at the 5, I really don't know where you play him realistically in the modern league. But anyway, uh, I'm told that JJ would like to have a floor spacing big who can rebound a little bit, can shoot the 3. In this case, I'm thinking like a shoot. He was a Laker at one point. Somebody help me out in the comments. I've talked about him before. He is, I think, in New Orleans right now or Atlanta. And
Who?
no,
He's
he's
in
in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
He was part of the DeJounte
Atlanta.
Murray trade. Help me out here. Not Brooke Lopez. It's Nance, Larry Nance Jr. And uh, if the Lakers could maybe pry him from there for the taxpayer mid level, that would be a pretty great scenario there. Some injury concern, obviously, but his injuries tend to be of the weird freak variety. So hopefully, and I don't think there was any bad feelings as there were with like Julius Randle and Brooke Lopez, who wasn't really thrilled with his Lakers experience. Nance, I believe, liked it for the most part, and uh, was, I don't think he would turn down being a Laker if they made him the best offer and gave him the best opportunity. So um, I would say he's of the center options out there who might be available at the taxpayer mid level, who can get up above the rim and knock down corner threes from time to time. Uh, Nance checks a few of those boxes. So
Bro,
keep
this
an
shit's
eye
way too
out
difficult,
for
bro.
his name coming up in the next month or so.
That nigga, the Nas is on the way, nigga.
Last thing here before we get out of here and answer maybe some of your guys' questions is that the Lakers have some guys obviously on their books or who will be leaving the Lakers books pretty soon who play center. You have obviously Jackson Hayes is the most notable of those players. He was the only guy of that center rotation who got even some minutes in the postseason. You have Alex Len, who the Lakers brought in late and then were pretty disappointed by because I don't think they watched him play basketball this year. Um, you have Christian Coloco, who I talked about before, and you have Trey Jemison, the third as well. And of those players, if I was to rank the likelihood of guys returning, I would probably put Jemison highest because he would potentially be on a 2-way. I would put Coloco slightly behind him, decent chance at it, where you bring him back on a veteran minimum contract to be the third best big on your team. I would say he comes in second. Giant gap. I'm talking like off screen somewhere down there in like purgatory. I would say Jackson Hayes is next up at third because he will at least be in the league next year, I would imagine. But I doesn't sound like either side is all that interested in running it back. Jackson didn't like that his role disappeared in the postseason. The Lakers obviously don't love that. JJ Redick felt like they needed to have his role disappear. Jackson at one point thought that he was going to get a pretty nice little raise because of the way that he looked after the Luka trade. I think a lot of that money has kind of dried up. He might get something above the veteran minimum, but I kind of doubt it. And then on top of it, you're asking Hayes to go from starting last year to probably being third string, which I don't believe the Lakers think he would handle all that well. So all of that taken into account, and me personally, I don't want to see him be back because I didn't want them to sign him in the first place because of the allegations. And then we saw the scenario play out after TMZ found that video. I'm good. I like I'm good on that guy. And so I think it's pretty unlikely that Jackson Hayes will not be on the Lakers next year. A lot will have to change if we do see him back. And then finally, Alex Len, I don't think he'll be in the NBA next year. And if he is, it won't be on the Lakers because they don't want to have a situation that we saw play out last year, where you entered the season with roster positions like 11 through 15, and none of those guys could basically play. The Lakers are looking to try to avoid that. If anything, they might bring back like a Markieff Morris, just for chemistry in the locker room, a voice that LeBron and Luka both really respect. That could be something that they entertain depending on how productive they're able to be elsewhere at the bottom of the roster. But remember, you're going to have Bronny on the roster again next year. Might have Markeith. That means, 13, 14, 15 there, or three of those guys, you out of the bottom five in your roster, you're hoping two or three of them can actually play without you feeling terrible about the minutes that they play. And you're already kind of down two spots because Markeith would mostly be kind of the Jared Dudley type, and then Bronny I think will probably be another year away from full on NBA readiness. So that means you got to hit on at least two or three other roster spots there at the bottom of your roster, and the Lakers. I think they would feel pretty good about it with Koloko. And if
Loco.
both sides were able to kind of come to an agreement and understanding on how things played out last year, maybe Hayes would be a decent option as your third center on an NBA rotation. But I would say probably it's far more likely Jemison is a two-way guy. Koloko might be on a 1-year veteran minimum, and then the Lakers look to use their taxpayer and trade assets to bring in center depth beyond that.
Oh, he said the Lakers are going to use a taxpayer on the center, and they're going to
All
trade
right.
for center.
Let's go through some of your guys.
Damn.
Some of your guys' questions here. Dodger Blue asking if LeBron opts in, would that mean this is his last year? I don't think so. I would
Niggas want this
probably
nigga to be
say
off the
he
team
plays
so
another
bad.
year beyond
Asking
this
about his
season.
retirement and shit. Nigga.
We'll know really quickly how LeBron feels about that, because I do not in any way, shape, or form see LeBron James of all people retiring quietly, just saying at the end of the season, yeah, I'm done. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't think
I
LeBron's
don't
going to
see
do
that.
that either. I
So
LeBron
don't think
likes
LeBron's
I
just.
would
attention, bro. That
I don't
nigga's
probably
gonna get
think.
a farewell
Yeah,
tour.
I don't think.
I'm
I
not
don't
even
think he's just
trying
going
to
to go through the
like.
that
season and be like, all right, guys,
he
I'm done now.
considers it
I'm not even
likely
trying to shit on a nigga,
that
but it's LeBron,
LeBron
bro.
opts
That nigga,
in. Jovan, I
nigga loves
believe, has
attention,
said
bro.
something
Yeah, I mean
similar as
that's not a bad
well.
thing. He's a goat. Fuck it.
I
Yeah.
still think that there's a slight, very outside chance that he opts out and maybe works with the Lakers a little bit, depending on the financial situation there. They aren't as up against it as they were last year. So, maybe
Damn, you know what I
because
would
there's a
like
little bit
though?
more
What if
flexibility, the
LeBron
Lakers basically
took the
go to
pay
LeBron
cut
and
so
say,
that we can
hey,
get the full
we're good.
MLE,
You can opt in
and
or
then we
whatever.
used it
We can
on
work
two
that out.
players?
But
What if we
I
use it
think
on
That'd
Bruce
be
if
Brown
cool.
and a
LeBron
big? Like
opts
that
in,
would be fire, bro.
maybe even when LeBron opts in,
That would be
Yeah,
fire.
that's what I think. I think he's
we'll
gonna
either
opt out
find
and then
out
work
very
around his
soon
contract. That's
that
Exactly.
usually
Let's
he's
my.
go.
opting
That's
in
what
Like
I
this
Bruce
think.
final
Brown and
season,
Capella, that would be fire.
or
That would be
that
fire.
he has his eyes on playing potentially with Bryce another year from now as well.
Man, Bryce not going to the league. I'm sorry, man.
Respect my demon, nigga.
All right. Any
You
more
know that.
It's not
questions
good, man.
here?
You know that, nigga. You know that.
Please note me, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
I
that's
bet,
it.
nigga.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. Again,
That was a
we're
good
live,
video, Ant. That's a good video.
fairly early in